Stop scrolling, because if you think the only way to build real money is college, or even just swinging a hammer, you're missing one of the most powerful skills in the real world economy. And it's not luck, it's not gambling, it's not HGTV fantasy flipping, it's analysis. The ability to walk into a house and know, within minutes, whether you're standing inside a financial trap or a possible six-figure opportunity.
Oh yeah, that's kind of nice.
Most people walk into houses and see walls, but when I walk into houses, I see decisions. I see the risk, the leverage, hidden problems, profit. I see mistakes before they even happen. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how to analyze a house to flip the way real flippers do, the way contractors who got rich did, the way people who never went to college but built serious money learned to do it. And before we go any further, let me ground this. My name is JV Charles here at JV Charles TV, and I've spent over 30 years living a no-college, high-pay lifestyle. I've worked in and around the skilled trades my entire adult life, around electricians, welders, linemen, heavy equipment operators, and contractors, and most of all, business owners. And over those decades, something became very clear to me. Yes, skilled trades are one of the great income paths left in America, but skilled thinking is what separates workers from owners. Because while trades teach you how to build, analysis teaches you what's worth building. And house flipping, done correctly, is a skilled trade that pays big. Not because of the hammer, because of the mind. It's construction knowledge, it's systems, numbers, psychology, risk management, it's emotional control, and it's decision speed that matters. And most people who lose money in real estate don't lose because houses don't make money. They lose because they don't know how to analyze. So today, let's fix that. Because by the end of this video, you're going to walk into houses differently. You're going to feel opportunity where most people feel fear. And you're going to start seeing money where most people see work. And everything starts with this number one rule: never fall in love with the house. Fall in love with the math. Because flipping does not start inside the house, it starts in the area, the street, the neighborhood. Because houses, they don't create value, areas do. I don't care how beautiful a house is. If it's in the wrong place, it's the wrong deal. So before I even care about a house, I care about what surrounds it. What kind of cars are parked outside? What kind of homes sit next to it? And what kind of people live there? Whether houses are improving or decaying. Because your buyer already lives in that neighborhood, and your flip must match that reality. Then I zoom out. I want to know what houses are actually selling for, not listed for. I want to know how fast they're selling, who's moving in, what's being built, and what employers are nearby. Because every flip starts backwards. What will this house realistically sell for in this area, in this condition, to this type of buyer? That number becomes law, not hope, not excitement, not fantasy, law. And once I know that number, now the house matters. But only now, because real flippers don't buy houses, they buy exits. Now, let's talk about walking a house. Because when I walk into a potential flip, I'm not admiring paint. I'm scanning, I'm listening, I'm feeling. I'm asking myself one question on repeat: where is this house going to try to steal my money? And the first place I go is not the kitchen. It's the part of the house no one wants to look at, because pretty houses lie. Ugly houses tell the truth, so I want to see the truth first. I pay attention how the house feels under my feet. Do floors feel solid or tired? Do doors close naturally or fight the frame? Do walls look straight or do they look exhausted? Because houses whisper before they scream. Then my eyes go where big money problems live: ceilings, roof lines, corners, because roofs don't fail quietly, they fail expensively. I'm already thinking, how old does this feel? How many layers might be hiding? And what story is the roof telling? And then I start hunting for what normally kills beginners: electrical. I don't care how nice anything looks if the panel looks like a museum exhibit, because bad electricity doesn't just cost money, it blocks insurance, it blocks financing, and it blocks buyers. And it's the same thing with plumbing. I'm running water, flushing toilets, listening, watching pressure, looking at what kind of pipes are exposed. Because old plumbing isn't dramatic, it's quietly violent to budgets. Then I'm feeling the house. Does it heat evenly? Does it cool evenly? Does it breathe? Because comfort sells houses, and mechanical systems are silent profit killers. Only after I understand the skeleton of the house do I let myself care about the skin. Now my brain shifts. Now I'm thinking like an owner, not a visitor. And this is where beginners get fooled. They walk into houses and say, "It just needs paint and floors." That sentence has destroyed more flippers than market crashes, because houses never just need anything. Every house is a stack of systems wearing makeup. So in my head, I'm not seeing rooms, I'm seeing responsibility. And I'm asking, if I own this house tomorrow, what problems would follow me home? Because that's rehab. Not what you want to change, what the house demands. I'm mentally separating what could be expensive, what will definitely be annoying, and what is truly cosmetic. Then I start caring about the layout, the flow, the light, the ceiling height, because sometimes the smartest flip isn't fixing, it's rethinking. Then we go to the fun stuff. Floors, paint, lighting, kitchens, and bathrooms. This is what Instagram lives on. But this is also where beginners overspend, because buyers don't pay for luxury, they pay for clarity. They pay for clean and bright and simple. They pay for "I could live here." They do not pay extra because you emotionally bonded with marble. Now, for a minute, let's talk about money, because this is where the fantasy dies. When I estimate a rehab, I'm not guessing. I'm stacking realities. I'm saying, if I wanted this house done legally, safely, and sellably, what would it actually cost? I start with the things that are not optional. If the roof is done, that's not cosmetic. If the electrical is outdated, that's not a suggestion. And if the plumbing is failing, that's not negotiable. Those get priced before I even look at cabinets. And then I build the rest. How much drywall is really coming down? How much flooring is actually usable? And how many windows are truly acceptable? What permits are likely? And what dumpsters are guaranteed? And what labor is unavoidable? And then I do something beginners don't like. I add money for things I haven't found yet, because they are there. They always are. Every house has secrets, and every wall has a story, and stories cost money. And then I factor in time, taxes, insurance, utilities, interest, and delays, because time eats profit even when nothing goes wrong, because it's always going to cost more and take longer. And then I factor selling. I'm talking about commissions, closings, repairs after inspection, price reductions. And then, only then, do I see the deal. What will this house realistically sell for? Minus everything, minus purchase, minus rehab, minus time, minus selling, and minus profit. And what's left is the truth, the plain truth. And if the truth is thin, I walk. If the truth is strong, I move quickly, because profit is not created by hope. It's protected by the math. Now let's talk about something most people miss. People don't sell houses, they sell problems. So I don't just analyze houses, I analyze situations. Why is this house available? What happened? What's the pressure? Who's tired? Who's overwhelmed? Because motivation creates margins, and margins create the profit. And this is another reason flipping is a skilled trade in my mind. Because you're not just managing materials, you're managing people, and you're negotiating emotions, and you're solving urgency. And here's something 30 years around real earners taught me. You don't make money when you sell. You secure money when you buy. That's why analysis matters. That's why discipline matters. And that's why emotional control matters. Because the second excitement enters, profit vanishes. Now, let me tie this back to the bigger picture. This channel exists to expose real paths of outside college. And what I've seen over the decades is this: trades teach you how to work, but analysis teaches you how to choose. And people who can choose correctly, they win every time. Well, not every time. Because electricians who understand houses become investors. Roofers who understand numbers become owners, and plumbers who understand leverage build portfolios. House flipping sits perfectly in that world because it rewards people who understand systems, people who understand construction, people who understand consequences, and people who understand that every problem has a price. And if you can price your problems, you can buy opportunities. That's not luck, that's a skill, that's a trade, and it can be learned. So whether you come from the skilled trades or you're starting from zero, understand one thing from this video, please. The most dangerous person in any economy is not the hardest worker. It's the person who can see value clearly. And once you can analyze a house, you can analyze opportunity. And once you can analyze opportunity, you are never stuck. And when you are never stuck, you don't need college to build a serious life, because the world doesn't pay degrees. It pays problem solvers. And house flipping, done correctly, is professional problem solving all the way. If you want more real-world breakdowns on skilled trades, high-income skills, and the ways people are quietly building money outside the system, make sure you subscribe to JV Charles TV, because on this channel, we don't sell motivation, we break down how money actually works. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks, guys.